Hello, everyone. Wow, we are live for the Move Beyond Fear Google Hangout webinar. And wow, the chat room doesn't work today. So for some reason, it will not open. So we will play without it. You can probably post in the Facebook group if you would like to. So I'm going to have to flick a little bit between the Facebook group and actually this, which it's okay, we'll manage. All right, so many things to talk about today, and I have got quite the collection of them here on my iPad. And the first thing really is that I want to thank everyone so much for coming and being present with this. You know, it's a 7-day challenge. It's probably one of the hardest topics ever to tackle. And people have been amazing in their vulnerability and their willingness to just talk about the things that are going on. So I really want to just be grateful and, you know, let you really acknowledge yourselves actually for what you have brought to this process as well, because it's not just about me, it's actually about everyone that participates. And even if you're one of the people who didn't really ever say much, but you're just looking around reading things, I'm grateful for you too, because your energy is added into what actually we create together. So that's the first thing I wanted to talk about. The second thing is that these tools actually will work forever. Like, you don't stop using them just because the 7 days are over. You keep using them and using them and using them. And the more you use them, the more different it will become. And like, you know, I've been using these tools for about 8 years now, and the difference in my life is huge. And I just realized I totally forgot to introduce myself for people who are watching in the future. So my name's Lisa Murray, and I'm the founder of Creativity Lab. And this webinar is for the Moving Beyond Fear Challenge. And so using these tools that we've been using in these last 7 days, what it does is if you get really consistent in using them, you start to change your reality. You start to actually change what is possible in your world, because you don't get stuck with the things that are actually that you've always thought were real but aren't real. So you actually get to play with things that are totally, totally different, because you're different, because you actually aren't held hostage by those things anymore. So I would encourage you to keep playing and to keep expanding what's possible in your world. You know, I can do so many things now that I could not do 8 years ago. You know, when I first started my business, I did not want to put my name on the internet. I did not want to put my face on the internet. And gosh, so much is different now. You know, I've traveled all over the world. I've, you know, talked to audiences all over the world. I've done lots of things online as well. And all of it is because I was willing to keep taking that next step forward. It's not like there was a quantum leap and I went from being totally freaked out and anxious 24/7 to actually being, you know, having all ease with all of this. It's just that these things, you know, bit by bit they change, and the more layers you peel off, the more things totally change. And you get to this space where eventually you just go, oh, I'm pretending to be afraid of that. Oh, I know that's not true. You know, everything about my life tells me that I'm not afraid of anything. And that's one thing actually maybe I might talk about just for a moment is, a lot of people think that fear is real, but really, if ever there's an emergency and you get cool, calm and collected, you have to know that you are not afraid, because otherwise you wouldn't get cool, calm and collected and deal with it. You'd actually freak out. And if you are freaking out in an emergency, you have to stop and ask, okay, is this mine? You know, I gave you that tool on day one, and I'm so grateful to the tools of Access Consciousness actually, because wow, I would never have changed all these things without those tools. And that thing of, is this mine? Just asking that question opens up the energy for the possibility that it doesn't belong to you, that you're just aware of other people's responses. And if you don't think this is possible, just think about the last time you walked into a room and you knew someone was angry or you knew they were sad. Because really, that's how aware we are. And you know, you can be aware of people on the other side of the world. Ever had the feeling you should call someone and there was something going on for them? It's the same thing. So what I would really encourage you to do is really just keep playing with the tools, and that question of, is this mine? Because what I discovered was so much of it was not mine, literally just so much of it. And so therefore, just noticed that my iPad keeps going off of all the things that, because there's lots of questions from you guys, which I'm very grateful for. Yeah, so basically, yeah, when you realize that really none of it's yours, then you can actually start to create. Because what we want to talk about today, and okay, just for anyone who's wondering too, there is going to be a replay, so you will get this sent out and it'll make it much easier for you. So the thing I really want to start with, though, in terms of the content for today, is that fear is what we would call a distractor implant. And it is one of those things that actually well, I'm just checking. Someone's saying, am I on the webinar? I'm wondering if she can't see it or what's going on. Yeah. So the thing about fear being a distractor implant is everything that's a distractor implant stops us from creating. That's the thing that is actually why so many of us think we have fears. And it's interesting. I've been playing with another challenge in the last 24 hours with, that's not mine, that's actually one I'm joined to play with. And I've noticed how many of what people are saying is about fear. And what I see is that there's this, I'm just going to do a little backup recording. I just have a feeling, I don't know why, but I have a feeling, and I just want to start a backup recording. And that's not working either. This is so very interesting. Okay, I'm going to start again.